Welcome to Subramani. Few years back, one journalist asked me, "What will change in your life if you get an extra 1 crore?" I said, "Nothing would change in my life." And then she said, "What happens if it is 10 crores?" I said, "Nothing would change." So then she said, "What about 100 crores?" I said, "I don't really think much will change, but maybe I will travel a little more luxuriously. Perhaps, but even that I don't know." And then she pushed and said, "What happens if you get a 1000 crores?" I said, "At 1000 crores, I will get myself a private aircraft." So she said, "But a private aircraft shouldn't cost you more than," that time she said about 25-30 crores, maybe today it is 35-40 crores. I said, "Yes, but then only at 1000 crore does a 30 crore need or a 50 crore need gets triggered for me. It does not get triggered at 100 crores, right? So for each person there is a point at which some need will get triggered. So for me it has to be a 1000 crore additional for me to consider a 50 crore aircraft, right? So I'm assuming it would be 50 crores plus running costs, etc., etc. It does not happen before that. So every one of us has a tipping point after which only we will act on certain things. So whatever is your tipping point and whatever is your amount, but one thing very clear, if I get additional money, it does not really change anything in my life. Maybe I'll go to there's a hospital nearby. Maybe I'll go there and create a chair where anybody who wants money, anybody who does not have money to pay even for small things, like I know one lady who's a house help for her daughter. She's spending about 3 lakhs. She has no way how she can have her own 3 lakhs. She does not earn that kind of money in a year. This would be her about 3-4 years income, right? They're really not well off, and they need to live, they need to pay rent and things like that. So then I would perhaps say, even though this is a government aided hospital where they don't charge her much for, maybe they charge 2000 rupees for OT, but she still has to pay for the medicine, she still has to pay for the biopsy costs, etc., etc. So then you realize that there are people at the periphery or at below the poverty line, whatever Mr. Modi does, who have no ability to pay for what you and I would think as reasonable charges in a government aided hospital. They just don't have the money to pay for that. They live way below that, and you can't even say why are they living in Bombay, because only by living in Bombay can they make even that 20,000 rupees or 15,000 rupees a month, right? They can't make that kind of money back in their village, so therefore they are here. You can see so much of poverty. So I said, maybe I go to 1 or 2 hospitals, sit there and assess and maybe help those people medically, or perhaps somebody in academics saying, "Here is a scholarship, finish your studies, but after you finish your studies you have to give back double the money. Here is 1 lakh, you finish your studies, start earning, give me 2 lakhs. Not because of anything else, because that 2 lakhs, the education cost would have gone up, it could help more children." So somehow I feel, I saw this beautiful letter which my niece received from Harvard saying, "We are paying this on your behalf, this is a scholarship," beautifully worded letter which said which is a scholarship and blah blah blah, etc., because you cannot afford to pay now, however we expect you to pay it forward. You can't go and return money to the Harvard campus and say, here is my fees that you paid, here is $15,000 or whatever, but you can pay it forward, you can do something like that. So most of us, all of us, I would think, all my friends, all of us paid some ridiculously low fees, right? I studied in a government school, and sorry, not a government school, a private school, but government aided school, and we paid 5 rupees monthly fees and 8 rupees monthly fees depending on which class we were in. So definitely it was hugely subsidized. The least we can do, all of us, is to say every year I'll sponsor 1 kid for engineering or 1 kid for medicine or whatever, depending on the cost, or pay for somebody's medical expenses. Some of these things you can give back to society only when you feel that there is nobody financially dependent. Today there is nobody financially dependent. My daughter is educated, she's got a good job, she's earning well, she just does not need the money that I have. I have the confidence. My mother is there. My mother's portfolio will take care of her, me, and my daughter. So that's, my mother does not need the money. My wife has enough of in her own portfolio for her to live. So really, the money is available for us to give away, and you can give away either at your death or during your life. So the best thing is to pick up some medical expense of somebody or some educational expense for somebody and start sponsoring them. Should you be passing judgment on how they are living? Suppose there is a person earning say 2 lakhs a year but has a lifestyle of 3 lakhs, right? Whatever reasons, they earlier had an income of 3-4 lakhs, that the husband had some attack and he is unable to earn, the wife is earning, but they are not willing to change their lifestyle. These are all dynamic questions which you have to answer. Do you tell this woman, look, your husband had a stroke or whatever, he can't earn, so pick your kid out of this school and put her or him in another school? It's traumatic. Would you want to change school? I would have hated changing schools in class 8 or class 7 or something like that. That is the time when you're developing good friendships, you understand and all that, and that's the time it's pretty traumatic to change school. So the best thing somebody like us can do is say, okay, next 3-4 years I'll pay the fees. And you can't afford to be too judgmental as to how the money is getting used. You can of course say, I will not pay for this, I will pay for that, but a person has to still live, a person has to still pay rent, a person has to still look at medical insurance. In fact, I tell all my friends that for the service providers that you have, whether they are driving your car and cleaning your house, their housemaid or their cook or whatever, all of them together, you please take medical insurance, maybe 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs, whatever it is, because when they fall ill, if they fall ill, whatever, they are going to come to you and you will not be able to say, I will not pay. So most of us pretend and say, no, I will give you a loan. We know in our heart that this loan can never come back. So here, I don't know what you would do with your surplus money, but yeah, some of this charity, and I find it very funny that people say, oh, look at how much Bill Gates is giving, how much Buffett is giving. They're giving, there is no doubt, but for giving, if you need examples, you have enough examples in our history, and there is the greatest example. Not that I have a great view of the Tata Group, but the ability to give 60%, 65% of the shares are held by trusts which go to help others, whatever cancer or whatever help that they do. So can we copy that? Can we just look around our own house and our own office and find people who are needy and help them? You don't need to give away things in a documented manner. You can just give away when you're around, when you find that there is somebody who's unable to pay a medical bill or pay an educational bill. One of the two, you have to prioritize. I mean, I prioritize saying that I will pay only for girls' education when I'm giving to people whom I don't know. If it's somebody whom I know, if it's if it's a driver, if it's a maid, or if it's a cook, or my neighbor's maid or neighbor's cook, or anybody, it's a known person, then I don't bother about gender. Because when you restrict yourself more and more, then you realize that, okay, this is a good one single cause, because we are not giving away thousands of crores. We are giving away money maybe in thousands, and I have not given to anybody in lakhs also. It has only been in thousands. Sigma of that could be in lakhs, but I have not helped one person saying, here is 5 lakhs. I don't mind paying 25,000 engineering fees for 4 years, that is 1 lakh, but at a time I have not been able to give 1 lakh. Maybe nobody asked, but I don't know whether I can write off that mind. Yeah, we gave money to another friend who had an illness, and some of it came back, some of it won't come back, but it's still very difficult, right? So start doing these kind of things. It helps, because thankfully God has given us more than enough, and that's a great thing to do. Of course, there's another thing you can do. You can go to Twitter, you can go to Facebook, you can go to LinkedIn and do crowd funding. I think I'm going to try crowdfunding for a person I know who's upper caste, so does not get any aid, and his son is good enough perhaps to get into medicine. So if he gets into medicine, maybe, and it's not a person whom I know very well, but I know of him. He works in a nearby temple, and so I thought I will do some crowdfunding for him. Thank you.